This is a response, no, a retort, to Bill Ackman's recent tweet on US-China trade, where he outlines, in long-winded certainty, how America should win a trade war. He frames the conversation as if it were a chess game played from a boardroom in Midtown Manhattan. He suggests that companies must and inevitably will pull out of China, and that China, a long-term strategist, should see the writing on the wall and hurry to the negotiation table. But here's the problem. Ackman doesn't just oversimplify a global supply chain crisis. He completely erases the human, operational, and financial complexity behind it. Worse, he does it with the kind of irrational confidence only a billionaire can afford. Let's start with the fantasy baked into his premise. Unless a company can continue to source from China on economically viable terms, it must leave the country. His quote. Really, Bill? Just pack up a decades-old supply chain and move it to where? Vietnam? Mexico? Indiana? Do you have any idea how hard that is? It takes capital. It takes months, often years. It takes retraining workforces, rebuilding relationships, renegotiating contracts, getting compliance cleared, scaling logistics. This isn't a Shopify plugin. It's an industrial transformation. And while big corporations might eventually manage that pivot, small and mid-sized businesses, the backbone of American manufacturing and retail, won't. They'll suffer. They'll stall. Many will fail. And these aren't just balance sheets. These are founders mortgaging homes, risking everything, trying to ride out chaos created by erratic policy shifts, and now amplified by billionaire punditry. Then there's his next claim. The longer tariffs persist, the greater the reputational damage to China. That's not just simplistic. It's disingenuous. The U.S. started this tariff war. It wasn't China randomly pulling levers to sabotage trade. It was America that injected uncertainty. If there's reputational damage to be assigned, maybe we should ask the hundreds of American firms now stuck in limbo, unsure whether to reinvest, relocate, or retrench, where the real trust issues lie. And the most absurd part? Even if a new, highly favorable deal is made, no company will be confident relying on China again. That cake is already baked. This is peak boardroom delusion. No company ever? Tell that to the brands still placing billions in orders from Dongguan. Tell that to the logistics teams who know that China, for all its political baggage, still has the scale, speed, and quality that no other country can yet match. Supply chains don't move on sentiment. They move on cost, capacity, and capability. But beyond the factual holes in his argument, what really rankles is the tone, the gall, the absolute arrogance. Bill writes this tweet like a man giving a lesson to a classroom, casually brushing aside the impact of his theories on real businesses and real people. He treats transition like a line item. He speaks of loan programs for American companies like it's some sort of easy band-aid, while ignoring the day-to-day panic of founders trying to keep their margins alive, their teams intact, their debt covered. Small businesses, the ones with 20-person teams, the ones bootstrapping production runs, the ones hand-coding ERP systems at midnight just to stay afloat, don't have the luxury of billion-dollar mistakes. They don't have PR teams or political capital. And yet, here's Bill declaring that China is over that the damage is permanent, that the only path forward is to cut and run. As if he has ever had to sit in a factory, beg a supplier for net 60 terms, or pay customs out of his personal checking account. This isn't thought leadership. This is entitlement wrapped in geopolitics. It's the arrogance of someone who will never be affected by the very upheaval he prescribes. So, Bill, you end your thread with, "Tell me why I'm wrong." You're wrong not just on the economics, but on the empathy. You're wrong because your words ignore the complexity and, more importantly, the humanity behind them. You're wrong because you confuse confidence with clarity and ego with expertise. You say time is on America's side. But in the real world, where founders are burning cash just to survive the month, time is a luxury only people like you have.